It is Friday, September 13th, 2019, 7:55 a.m. So I started, this is going to probably be a quicker vlog, but started A Plus this week, and it's honestly, I really like the book. Like, I really like, it's interesting just kind of learning the basics of how a computer works. Right now we're kind of in the basics of networking, and Tayo's introducing subnets and IPs and how the bits work and all those and stuff like that, and I understand all that, so I'm not really interested. So today I'm not going to class today just because I don't feel like it. Plus, we're doing networking, like I said, and I already know that. One thing that's really, really impressed me about this class so far is that Tayo doesn't just read from the textbook anymore. Patrick did say that he is better now, and I didn't really believe him, but he truly is better. He basically puts up a PowerPoint, and he kind of goes over things. There's some things he doesn't really go into detail. Like, remember, we did like 3 chapters on the one day because he kind of went through everything quickly. He had everything on the PowerPoint, and he just hit point by point, couple sentences for each thing, which, I mean, not the biggest deal. Maybe he could have shown us like pictures of them even on Google if he doesn't have the actual connectors, but so in that sense, the class has definitely been better. He was, writing stuff on the board. He was showing us examples, showing us videos for some other things. And now I don't think once he's opened up actually, a couple times he's opened up the textbook. One of the times was like review questions at the end of one of the chapters. He doesn't do for every chapter, which is nice. For the first chapter, he did it, and it is kind of annoying though because he still does a thing where it's like he himself doesn't know the answers to the questions. Like, he doesn't look beforehand, and sometimes he doesn't, like, if you argue as to what a answer of a question is. Like, for example, one of the questions that we had like a very, very long discussion on was what hardware needs to support virtualization, and the options were RAM, CPU, motherboard, and BIOS. And the answer in the book is BIOS and CPU. And I was arguing, well, that's wrong. But the way the question's worded, the answer is wrong because BIOS isn't hardware, so automatically that's out of the equation. RAM, there is no RAM that doesn't support virtualization, so the motherboard needs to have virtualization and like the option for it in the BIOS, and CPU needs to also have virtualization, like support virtualization. So those are the 2 hardware components, just like the question is asking, that require support for virtualization. We had a very long discussion on it, so we still do that, which is kind of annoying. People still ask him questions he doesn't really know the answers to, kind of just flip-flops over the place in terms of like explaining stuff, so that's kind of annoying, but overall better than it was with Windows 10, so that's nice. In terms of weather, I actually forgot to start with that. A couple days this week, actually, it was hot. Like, it was warm to the point where I was wearing just a t-shirt and I was like sweating. So it was nice. But yesterday it was back to cold. Looks like it's kind of gloomy outside. It's been a little rainy most of the week. So right now it looks like it feels like 11 outside. So it's probably still a little chilly. But there's that. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but the new Korn album came out and it was okay. I didn't really think it was that great. I like the previous 2 albums better. Just finished listening to the new Blink-182 album. I thought that was fantastic. Or not, sorry. I don't know where the word fantastic came from. It's good. It's really good. It's I don't know if, right now, I don't know if I'd say it's better than, what was the last one, California? But I liked it. The singles kind of made me worried, and I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good album. But it actually being a lot better than I expected. There's some more albums I listened to. Post Malone's new album is pretty awesome. Sleeping with Sirens new album, I wasn't really expecting much. Turned out to be very good. Snoop's new album is pretty good, and yeah, I think that's most of it. So yeah, this week the new Dave Chappelle special, Sticks and Stones. I watched the new Dave Chappelle special, Sticks and Stones. Loved it. Had a lot of laughs. And then Bill Burr's new special came out on Tuesday. Paper Tiger, and it was fantastic. I loved it, and I think it might be his best or one of his best. Right now I'm downloading The Ranch. The new season came out today. Fall weather, man. Just excited. New things are coming out. Things are starting to happen. Music's coming out. Even though I'm not going to watch, the Leafs training camp starts today, which, I'm seeing it on Twitter. It's it's a little bit exciting, not going to lie. Yeah, there's something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, pretty much my desire to play WoW has gone away just because as of I think last week or 2 weeks ago I started playing video games a little bit more. Josh sent me a text, a sort of Battlefield meme, and I started feeling I want to play Battlefield more, so I play Battlefield a lot. I played it for like a few hours actually on the weekend. We also played Gary's mod because Alex sent me some videos of our old videos, and I just wanted to play some Gary's mod, so I was playing by myself, and then Alex mentioned it. I was like, I just in the mood for it, and then everyone else installed it. So we played some stuff there, and I ended up making some videos out of it, which is awesome. I actually have 6 videos total. 3 murder, 1 trouble in terrorist town, and 2 prop hunts. Everything is pretty much done. Everything's uploaded except for the 2 prop hunts. I'm almost in the first prop hunt. I'm doing a lot of motion tracking with text, following people, so it's easier to know who's who. So doing those, but yeah, I've been uploading those, been working on new thumbnails for those, and I'm just really excited, really happy, and yeah, we're excited to work on that stuff. So that's what I'm actually going to do once I finish this. Once I start uploading this, I'm going to go finish that. And then, yeah, because of that, I haven't been watching wrestling. I haven't been really listening to podcasts, except for when I'm doing for example, this motion tracking stuff as well as thumbnails. But yeah, so oh, and also, yeah, the other thing, the big thing, yesterday is I had my internship interview at a place nearby, and it went well. Like, it was funny because the day before, I spent like 40 minutes before the bed trying to think of like the perfect way to answer what is your weakness. And I had the answer, I just couldn't really, the wording of it, it was too long, and it was just word soup, so I was trying to shorten it down, would keep everything, and I ended up doing it fine. I answered a couple other questions in my head, and I went into the interview, and to be honest, I wasn't nervous. Like a little bit, like obviously I'm a little nervous, but compared to what I was before, like not really all that nervous. And it's weird because it's like, this is actually a thing that I need, right? So this isn't like I need to go do this to get second career. This is like, I need to do this to like work, right? To graduate. So I go in, and they said there's this guy who works in IT, another lady who I don't know exactly what she did, but I don't think she was in IT. She's kind of worked something else. But yeah, it's a small company, and relatively simple interview. They didn't ask me any technical questions. They kind of asked, how are you doing at school? What's something that you've learned that you didn't fully understand? Why did you get into IT? Nothing technical. The only thing that was technical was I had mentioned something about how I liked learning about how Exchange works, and the guy that was interviewing me, Peter, asked, well, how does Exchange work? So I explained it to the best of my ability. There was something he'd asked me about setting a record outside of the DNS, and I didn't know the answer to that, so just said I don't know, and he helped me with that. But that was cool. Yeah, I don't know, like on the way there, like the day before and on the way there, I had like this kind of confidence where I was like, where I finally kind of like I understand what interviews are, and they're not just me being interviewed for the position, like seeing if they're a good fit or if I'm a good fit for them, but it's also me interviewing them, seeing if they're a good fit for me. And because of that, it's really kind of eased my tension. But also, like, I had this confidence where, like, why wouldn't they want to hire me? Like, I'm a, like, not to say that I'm the best or anything, but it's like, I know what I'm doing for the most part. I think I'm a nice person. I get along with people well, and like, I'm a hard worker. I know this from experience, that I work my ass off, and I'm the places that I've worked have all told me that, in some capacity, especially the last place that I worked, that you're an excellent worker. We really appreciate having you. You're great. So I don't see why that'd be any different. I think that for any company, I would be a great addition to their team. And not to say, like, if I didn't get something, it's not necessarily like, oh, well, friggin', I can't believe that. I'm just saying, like, I feel confident that, like, I can, I deserve to be anywhere that I apply to be. So, yeah, that confidence and that understanding of what an interview is, which I learned last year, kind of in the process, of doing all these interviews. But yeah, it just kind of took a lot of the pressure off. So that was let me just write another note that I want to do real quick. That was yeah, it was fine. So the interview went well. The guy, we talked a little bit, and then after the interview, he showed me around. The office is relatively small, but it's open concept. Seems like it's like casual. People wearing sweaters and t-shirts and stuff like that, which was awesome. Don't have to wear business casual clothing, which I absolutely despise. Yeah, they've got like a retro gaming machine. They've got a couple of other things that they kind of, toys to play around with. My only concern with that, though, is that just kind of the stories I hear about stuff like that, it just makes me worried, because the stories are that, they have those because they expect everyone to be in the office for very, very long periods of time, even after, the hours end, which I understand, but like, I don't want to be in a place that, like, I'm always excited to be late or to finish like way later than I'm supposed to. And it's like they put those things there so that way, you have something to do while you're away from home. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it's just like a cool office and they're just having that there to de-stress or whatever. So that's cool. At one point in the tour, he was saying that the CEO or the owner of the company used to be an owner of a cannabis thing, which I did see when I was researching the company, but like I thought he was still working there. And he was like, yeah, so just so you know, you might see some stuff here about cannabis. He showed me a book that was on the CEO's desk, and so we actually had a grow. We had a grow light here. We were trying to grow some weed, and he showed me the grow light in like on top of their foosball table, which I took down because they weren't doing that anymore. He's like, yeah, just so you know, if in case that it scares you off or something. I was like, no, I don't really care. So that was pretty cool. And I mean, yeah, he like while he showed me around, like it kind of got very loosey. It wasn't. It was just we were literally just shooting the shit. He'd be like, at one point we talked to this guy, and the Peter, the guy was giving me the tour, he was saying that this guy survives on vapes and Tim Hortons coffee, and the guys asked, yeah, so do you drink homebrew or do you drink Tim Hortons? I said I drink McDonald's, and Peter's like, yes, thank you. No one drinks that donkey piss that's Tim Hortons, and cursing while cursing while he was giving me the tour, which I mean, I like when people are just themselves, and I don't it's not like, oh, I'm very professional, yes, thank you, yes sir, no sir, kind of I don't know, like that professional hokey shit. Like I know it has to be done for an interview, but like I like when they get to drop that professionalism and just be themselves, and it lets me be myself a little bit more too, so I appreciated that. And afterwards, like right before I left, we were talking in Polish a little bit, because he's also Polish, and yeah, he seemed pretty cool. Seemed like a nice guy. It honestly seems like a great place to work. So afterwards, like at the end as well, he's like, it's pretty much a go. Like if you want the internship, it's yours. So I'm just waiting for the person who does my internship at school to let me know like what's going on. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, I want to work there. That'd be cool. And during the interview, they also said that they want me to work the full day, which I interpreted as they want me to work 8:30 to 5, which I was like, yeah, totally, because then I could finish my internship hours quicker. But I emailed the internship person that is from my school, and she said the way she's wording all, like I asked, like, is it cool if, like they want me to work the full day? Is that okay? Because I remember when she gave me the handout, it said 25 hours max per week. So she said that the reason. So she said with the last person that they wanted them to work the full day so that they didn't have any carryover from day to day. So they worked 4 days a week, 6 hours, and then they worked one Friday a month to make up the other, to make up that extra hour that they were missing. And I was like, okay, but I was like, yeah. She's like, does that work for you? I was like, yeah, that works for me. But the way I interpreted it was they want me to work the full 8 hours, and then she emailed me saying that she is going to remind him that it is 25 hours per week. So I don't think I'll be able to do that, which sucks. But I mean, if I could do the 6 hours, and that's okay, that's definitely awesome, because then Monday to Thursday I work, then Friday I have off, which would be sweet. So yeah, that'd be cool. And then I could get my hours done a little bit quicker, which is awesome. And then who knows? Maybe it all depends on what the work is, how I like it and stuff. But maybe if they offer me a job and I like it, I can take it and I can start working and have it be there. So yeah, it seemed good. Matt was saying that it sounds like a good place for me to be because it could give me a lot of experience. Same with Tayo. He was saying, I was telling him about it, and he was saying that it's a great place to kind of learn everything. And basically what at the interview, they said they're going to start by kind of giving me this checklist, which they were trying to make it seem that it wasn't the worst work, which I don't think it's bad work. They were just saying it pretty much is like the least priority, right? So they give it to the intern, so it's they're putting off, which is fine. But basically, what it sounded like was like kind of just going through performance monitors, event logs, backups, just making sure everything's running correctly and stuff like that. And then eventually, maybe they'll give me some more stuff to do, which is fine, which is totally fine. They work with Cisco, with a lot of Cisco routers and stuff, so. Honestly, it could be a good way for me to kind of get my feet wet and introduce myself to Cisco without, stressing out over the exam, or just kind of understanding basics. And when I eventually one day learn CCNA, have that knowledge, which would be cool. And then Server 2008 R2 to 2019, I believe they said. I think they said that they are phasing out Windows 7 because it's becoming end of life next year. So kind of, I guess they'll be working with 8 through 10, and some other stuff as well that I had written down somewhere, but. Seems like stuff, I don't think, and honestly, I was a little bit worried as to what my internship would entail, what I'd actually be doing. But honestly, the way they made it sound is that, like, they understand that I'm an intern. They understand that I'm new to this, so they're not going to be like, okay, here's a networking thing, fuck off. And they said, networking stuff is more kind of senior techs, just because it is such a big deal. So it's nice. I feel a lot more relaxed and comfortable with the idea of kind of starting out with simple stuff. Check performance, cool, awesome, and then moving into kind of more and more stuff to see how I like it, which is awesome. That's preferably how I'd like to learn, instead of kind of jumping into the deep end, not being sure. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so the last thing I want to talk about is new iPhone was announced on Tuesday, and pre-orders go on sale. Pre-orders come up today, and then next Friday they start shipping out. So probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll go out to the Apple Store and check it out in store. And yeah, to be honest, and I'm 100% gonna get it. Initially, my plan was to get the best one, but for that, it's iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that cost, I think, it comes with the option of 64 gigs, 256, and 512, I believe. The 512 is like $2,000 base. I was like, I can't justify that, so no. So then I was like, okay, well, what is like the Pro version? And so they have also 64, 256, and 512 gigs. The 256 is $1,500 without tax. And I was like, okay. So the iPhone 11 comes in, I think 256 is the max size you can have. And it comes, I think that would be $1,100, like $1,300 after tax. So initially I was going to get the iPhone 11, but I think, I was like, dude, you don't get phones very often. You want this phone to last you, and you have money. Just go out and get a good one. Not the most expensive, because I really can't justify spending over $2,000 on a phone. But I think the iPhone 11 Pro is what I'm gonna get, the 256 model, because that comes out to like, I think it was like, it's either $1,500 after tax or $1,700 after tax. But I'm gonna get that. It's pretty much the same as the Pro Max, except the battery life is a little less, but still very, very good. The screen, the resolution is just slightly less, and there was something else. But yeah, like the difference between the iPhone 11 and the Pro though is that the 11, I think the Pro has more, like an hour or two more battery life, and the screen goes from LCD with IPS to OLED, and it has 3 cameras instead of 2. And so I was like, all right, you know what? Screw it. Get the Pro. So I'm probably gonna get the Pro, and yeah, get a new phone, and finally get rid of this one. So actually, while I was walking home, or walking to my car from class one day, I dropped this in the hall, and now there's like I don't know. There's like, when I press down here, it just, I could feel like the screen, like there's a gap, so I can feel that pressure. So this one's coming to end of life. I've had it for a long time. It served me well, but I'm excited to get a new phone. That'll be the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Yeah, so longer video than I said it's gonna be short, but here we are. But I'm gonna upload this, go get a coffee, and start working on that prop hunt video. So you.